Planning your wedding during a pandemic is not something we thought we'd be having a conversation about, having to make a video about, and talking to all of our couples about. But this is 2020. It is what it is. And so here we are. We're going to make a video, and we want to just help you think about planning sort of a more intimate ceremony in 2020, if that's what your goal is, and talk about why that might be helpful and how we as photographers can give you some tips on planning it. And it's often something that a lot of people haven't thought about because we're so used to the way that weddings have been. So hopefully this is helpful during the pandemic and in 2020, but also helpful beyond that, because intimate ceremonies, in our opinion, are a great way to have a wedding. And so, yeah, we just want to start talking about it and help you guys out.
Yeah, I'll say that we've had a lot of conversations with couples, like Jamie said, and we've seen some people decide to skip their wedding, the big party wedding that they had planned, and just do an intimate ceremony, and like are really embracing that and actually saying to us, like, we kind of secretly wanted to have a small ceremony, an intimate ceremony. So it's great for those people. And then there's some people who are like, okay, I'll reschedule my big wedding for 2021 when it's hopefully clear to have a big wedding. But I still want to celebrate this year and have my family and friends, maybe less than 10 people that have quarantined together or whatever. Let's do something simple. So we're going to talk about like planning that simple wedding this year, and starting with the why.
Yeah, with the why, there's kind of like, I think, three sort of specific ones we want to mention. The first one being, I think when you have a specific date in mind, especially if you've been planning this date for a long time and you've had a lot of energy leading up to it, there's just something about sticking with that date that feels really special to you as a couple. And we've recognized that that's been a thing for some of our couples this year. So if that's something that's really important to you, just to stick with your date and have life keep moving. Getting married is an awesome goal and something that you guys want to move forward with. Then you want to stick with an intimate ceremony so that you can actually have something this year. Mm-hmm. Another one I think that gets a little bit overlooked is just intimate ceremonies are really special in that, like, you get to have the core people that really, really love you, and like those people who you're closest with. Not that the big ceremony you're really not really close with those people, but those people who really love you, and you can feel this sort of sense of specialness around the smaller group that's there. Is a really cool reason to have an intimate ceremony. And then a third one would be, if you're more introverted, like I am, it's nice to have a smaller group of people there because there's less pressure around it. There's more of a sense of relaxation around the wedding day, and you get to just sort of enjoy the people that are around you that make you feel relaxed and at ease, and you can really be present during your wedding day.
Yeah. And then as far as the where for your elopement in 2020 or beyond 2020, you've probably seen, like, on Pinterest or on Instagram, that there are some epic ways to do an elopement. And that's kind of been the trend before, is like when you think of an elopement, you think of these beautiful, trendy weddings on a cliff and with the ocean behind them. And it's like got this, beautiful, epic backdrop. That is an option for you that you could take advantage of right now. Like, maybe this is the year you do a small elopement and you have that like adventure wedding ceremony that you see, but you also don't have to do it in that trendy, epic way. You can have a really special, intimate day in a friend's backyard or in your parents' backyard or in your backyard. And the where is like totally defined by what's special to you and what you're most excited about, obviously.
It's an opportunity to just be creative and think through, like, what do we want to do? There's no limitations on a really small group of people. If it's like 10 people, you guys could go up on a hillside or rent an Airbnb and just have any sort of setting at your fingertips because of the flexibility of it. Yeah. So yeah, just get creative and think about what's special to you. And then as far as how long you're supposed to sort of hire your photographer for this type of thing, you could condense it into 1 hour and really just kind of like smash through just like some photos of the ceremony and then some portraits of you guys and some family photos. But we'd recommend something like 2 to 3 hours, maybe even 4 if you want to extend it. But 2 to 3 hours is the sweet spot where you'll get sort of a little bit of getting ready. And then if you have some sort of like maybe eating or dinner at the end of the day, we can capture a little bit of that as well, and get everything in between with some nice flexibility.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking us that question, like what's the right amount of hours during one of these types of weddings? And it really depends on if you want the things Jamie mentioned, like the end of getting ready and the beginning of dinner. If you don't need that, maybe only 1 to 2 hours is perfect. And then when you do have flexibility with the amount of hours and the way you're planning this wedding, it's also just another big tip we want to share is like you have control of the lighting and the way your photos are going to turn out, because you don't have to wait on a ton of guests and have dinner planned for them like a big wedding day. You get to plan it around what you want. And so we highly recommend having your ceremony and your photos taken at sunset or around sunset so that you have like amazing, great lighting and you can work, some of the smaller events around that ceremony time. So let's say you want to hire photographers for 2 hours for your ceremony in 2020, and let's say the sunset's at 7:30, we would recommend hiring your photographers from 5:30 to 7:30 and having that amazing lighting be the prime time of your events on your small, intimate wedding day.
Yeah, and I think that's most of what we wanted to talk about as far as like planning your intimate ceremony. There's a lot more detail that we could get into, and if you're interested in anything in regards to that, please ask questions in the comments below. But to those of you who have had to replan your weddings and think through this multiple times, we're right there with you. We're sorry this is happening. We're all just excited for this to be over and for us to be moving forward. But hopefully this is helpful in the process. And we're here for you as photographers. And so thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Bye.